What's up, party people? We're here with our first game of this rebuild, and we are controlling the New York Giants. 82 overall team, 81 on offense, 84 on defense. Let's go over who's on this squad. Big focus here is Jackson Dart, building him up as fast as possible. Cam Scatterbo, he's a beast, and we'll have him in the power back and starting, and then Tyrone Tracy will be our receiving back. We picked up Carson Steele, moved him to fullback, so we got the exciting white backfield. Malik Neighbors, Wandell Robinson, who's going to start in the slot, but if Neighbors isn't getting fed well, we are going to move Neighbors into slot, possibly Slayton, Hyatt, Wheaton, Collins. They're all okay. Theo Johnson, would like to get him up over an 80, shore him up a little bit. Okay with the offensive line. Little bit light there with John Runyon and Shorts and Neal, but we're gonna roll with this for now. See, we get Abdul Carter, trying to build him up as fast as possible. To max out with Brian Burns. We picked up Wilkins in the free agency draft, so that was good. We got a real nice defensive line. We got Taki as our Sam. We got Bobby. Bob is our Mike. Micah McFadden. Now, the corner is where we have some issues. So we're going to talk about that. Holland's good. And then Dane Belton and Tyler Newman. We don't need to go over sub packages. You get that. But let's go over what the schemes are. We're going to switch to Seattle's defense, disguise 3-4. That worked for us in another slow sim league. And then we're going to try the Giants, West Coast spread. I'm going to treat myself as like a viewer of myself, and we're gonna go with all right. Well, the New York Giants offense was working um, in slow sim, so let's try it out, or in quick sim on my channel. So let's give it a try in slow sim and see what happens there. Now, when we talk about coach abilities, uh, I'm going to focus on increasing man coverage. I'm not so much worried about play sheets anymore, but definitely stuff like anything that gives +7 and see where we go. And especially here, I want to build up Island Kings, and then the other one was load the box, probably. So Island Kings, you get +7 play rack for your corners and safeties, +7 press, +7 zone, and then when we max it out, we get +7 man, and then here for load the box, you get for corners and safeties +7 tackle, pursuit, hit power, and play recognition. I mean, +7 hit power is ridiculous. So we're trying to build up the secondary. Our D line is and everything's great. So we definitely need help in the secondary. So let's before we can let's confirm this loadout, do some upgrading, and then we'll go from there. All right, so in our loadout, we did go with the +7s across the board here for field general. We want to boost quarterback, ground guardians, island kings, and load the box. And then we took off the heavy run play sets here, play sheets, and we went with the 4-2-5 play sheet and the master of the skies. I wish we had 3-4, but it is what it is. So we're going to confirm the loadout, and then we're going to do some mini games here and try to keep these guys upgrading. Looking at some upgrades, we do have some good ones here, but we're going to start with Jackson Dart. He's a +84. Well, he's +6, but he's up to an 84 with the boost. And some other notable ones here, but that's the most important one. All right, well, since this is a user versus user slow sim league, the Washington Commanders would be starting the game. In my rules, the home team would get the right of way to run the stream, run the sim. Uh, the Washington Commanders owner moved their team to the Baltimore Ravens playbook, West Coast power. Want to get some hopefully running out of their quarterback, and then they're going to try the 4-3 cover three. That's kind of what Dan Campbell runs. What the hell's his name? Dan Quinn, not Dan Campbell. It's a different person. So, by the way, I'm recording this very early in the morning after watching the Eagles choke away a Monday Night Football game to the Chargers. So I'm still a little tired here, a little butthurt. Um, I think I'd be interested to see the coaching abilities that were chosen here. Of course, you got Field General for the quarterback, and then Island Kings, No Fly Zone, and Pressure Posse for the Commanders. So interesting approach here. Tough road game here for the Giants, but I'm really excited to get this game going, and let's get into it. All right, so the Commanders get the ball first. They're home. They get the ball first. We're going to start on defense, and on third down, we force Jaden Daniels to throw this deep pass that gets broken up to Debo Samuels, and we get the ball first to kick off our season in 2026.
On the return, and that's where the offense will take over. The Giants offense making their way out for the first time. They're led out by the first-round pick in 2025 out of Ole Miss. It's Jackson Dart.
Well, here it is. This is the moment, Mike, that he has been working towards ever since hearing his name called on draft night. He's put in the work. He's gotten the reps with the first team. He's had some ups and downs through training camp in the preseason. But it's clear, this organization has all the confidence in the world for this young quarterback to go out as the...
Oh, they're on him in a flash, and he lost the football. And no turnover here. One of the guards able to get the football and get on it to keep possession.
And they should consider themselves lucky. You can't let a pass rusher through that quickly and not expect there to be consequences. Fortunately, they're at least able to fall on it and prevent this from being a complete disaster.
Work to do following the sack. It is third and long. And a shotgun. It's Dart. Taking off, he'll try to get there. And he'll get into the slide here, but he's going to be well short of the first down. They'll begin 1st and 10. On play action, Daniels. Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him. Micah McFadden. He's got his first sack of the season here early in week 1.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Probably should have given that one up. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Well, not a great start to this drive offensively. You take the sack on first down, and you're thinking, all right, let's go to the ground game. Let's pick up some of the lost yardage. But then you take a loss again, and now it sets up third and real long, and you find yourself in a tough spot.
All right, so there is a flag on the play, but it's holding on the offense, which we're going to decline, and we're going to force a punt and get the ball back.
On 1st and 10. Throwing, Dart. That's to Bellinger. He's got it downfield. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. First catch for him on this new season, and it results in a first down.
Didn't take them long to get now to their opponent's side of the field. I like the idea of starting this drive with some explosive pass plays. That's going to open everything up, both underneath in the passing game and on the ground. So big play to get this drive off to a fast start.
And good yardage there after the catch. They'll wind up with a gain of 7 on first down.
7-yard pickup. Brings up second.
Dart going to keep this on his own read. Nothing doing there. He'll go down behind the line.
So it's just a simple read, but it's really well defended. They had both the give and the pull reads both accounted for, and the play ends up going nowhere.
This one broken up. It's incomplete. Good job separating the receiver from the ball, and it is 4th down. Here is Graham Gano to try the field goal. This a 57-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good. And the Giants will take a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, and you just can't say enough about Dan Quinn. And you and I, we've sat in a lot of meetings with him over the years, Mike. And when he walks in the room, you just feel good. You feel confident. You feel he's under control. He's just one of those guys that has an aura about him that just makes you say, you know what, that guy's in charge, and I'm just going to go wherever he tells me. And you kind of saw that happen on a roster that I would say was a good roster. They were superstar at quarterback with Jane Daniels, but the rest of their roster still is a work in progress. So as they continue to acquire new players, continue to build that roster around Daniels, I'll tell you what, I think they won 12 last year. I wouldn't be surprised to see them hover around that same number and compete to win in what's a difficult division with the Eagles, but when it comes to the end of the season, I think they're going to be right there with them.
First and 10.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Operating from the gun, it's Daniels. On the move left. He keeps it himself. And he'll get about 4 yards before wisely covering up. Ball on the 27. Here's second and 6. Daniels with a give to Krosky Merritt. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
We're seeing such an uptick, Mike, across the league in these hybrid kind of positionless defenders, especially safety. So are they a safety? Are they a linebacker? They're good in both coverage. And in this case, they can play near the line of scrimmage and still make plays on the ground.
And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a first down.
That's another Washington first down. First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
On the give, Krosky Merritt. And he is out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Now it is first and goal.
A gain of 17 yards.
Krosky Merritt. And that play took a little long to develop. They stop it for no gain at the 4.
A loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot. And now, I think it really limits what do you feel comfortable dialing up here on second and goal.
That one taken in. Harry McClure. Touchdown, Washington. For Daniels, last year's Offensive Rookie of the Year. First touchdown pass of his sophomore season.
That was just too easy, Mike. It's just straight man coverage. Great route by the receiver on the slant. You just can't give up an inside release deep in your own end zone. Because as you just saw, it's pitch and catch.
The kick is good. Makes the score. Commanders 7. Giants.
They start this one with first and 10. Looking to throw. It's Dart. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away. And that'll set up second down.
It's second down and 10.
They'll go play action here. Oh, they're on him in a flash, and he lost the football. One of his teammates is there to pick it up. So, first quarter in the books here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. 7-3 is our score. And EA Sports NFL Sunday returns after this. Giants football here to begin the second quarter. So, backed up after the sack, and now it's third and long. As we are ready to get back underway. He'll look deep here for Neighbors. And that'll be incomplete. They took their shot downfield. Now, let's check on the flag. The penalty helps a bit, but it's still third and long. Operating from the gun, it's Dart. Again, working deep downfield. And they're going to have this all the way down inside the 30-yard line. A big-time play out of the G-men. A pickup of 44 yards.
Pick up of 44 yards on the play. First down, Giants.
both pre-snap and post-snap. It's about as well done as you can do at the quarterback position.
Get in and out of the right call, identifying the holes along the back end, and then the throw. You can't put it in a better spot. I mean, that's just a big-time play.
From the 24 now, here is second down and 7.
Brings up second and 7 at the 24.
Again, out of the gun, and it's Scatterboot. He's taken down just shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 13 yards. First down, Giants.
First down. First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
They'll go again with Scatterboot. Not much happening there, just a short gain.
Brings up second and 9 at the Commanders' 9-yard line.
Dart gonna throw here on second down. He pulls it in around the 5. And a nice gain there. He's out of bounds, and that will bring up third down.
Ruled out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Out of the gun, here comes Dart. That is caught. What a job to keep the play alive. Wandale Robinson. Touchdown, New York. For Jackson Dart, milestone moment, his first NFL career touchdown pass. Tight spaces down there. Things happen quick. Greg, a quick decision and great execution for the score.
You're exactly right, Mike. Down here this close to the goal line, everybody's clock has to speed up. Not only the quarterback processing to get the ball out of his hand.
And 10. Hey, Greg, you think about the NFC East, I was always fond of saying, you're not allowed to rebuild in the NFC East. Think about these fan bases, Philly, Washington, Dallas, the Giants. Their fans don't stand rebuilds very often. Always feels a different pressure in this division to be one of the best teams in the league every year.
Yeah, and it's just such a fun division. And last year with Washington turning it around so quickly, Jayden Daniels and Dan Quinn, what a great story that was. And then, of course, with Philadelphia, the eventual Super Bowl champs. Clearly, towards the end of the season, it was pretty evident, at least to all of us, that they were the best team, and that's exactly how things played out. So if you're at the bottom looking up, unlike some of these other divisions where you say, okay, maybe I'm not as far behind as it feels, in the NFC East, Mike, there's just not a lot of easy wins in your division, especially if you're the Giants.
We talk about history, and sometimes people go back 5 or 10 years. I just think back to the generations of great matchups amongst these teams. Greg, when any one of these teams goes to visit the other one, it feels like a historic NFL game because of the legacy. That, to me, is why the NFC East is one of the sexiest divisions in all of sports, not just the NFL.
Oh, absolutely. And it has more of kind of like a college football vibe, right? There's rivalries. The fans kind of don't hate. They hate each other. They're yelling at each other. They're throwing things at the field. It has a little bit more of a college arch enemy, arch rival type of vibe. And I think that's why it's so fun to football fans all across the league. Whether you're a fan of a team in the East or not, when those two teams are on and they're playing each other, you want to tune in.
A 3-yard pickup.
Daniels going to keep it on the zone read. Ooh, some hitting going on now. He was rocked right at the line of scrimmage. After that play, we have one of the Commanders who is down. He'll get himself looked at, but this is not how you want to begin a new campaign. Here's 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, it's Daniels. And he will not quite get to the marker. Good job there defensively, and now decision time. What are you going to do on 4th down?
The initial reaction is, how does this quarterback not throw the ball past the first down line to gain to try to extend this drive? And the reality is, because they've already decided they're going to go for it on 4th down.
They'll go. Krowski Merritt has it. And he's going to have a Commanders first down. They find a way to keep the drive going with the 4th down conversion.
Commanders first down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Play action. Here's Daniels. That's deep for the back of the end zone. This one batted away. It's incomplete. Good hands there in the end zone, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Daniels going to keep this himself. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 11 on that one. Good for a Commanders first down.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Pass caught left side. That's Ertz. And he'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
Brings up second and 5.
On the zone read, here's Daniels. And no place to go. He's hit and taken down behind the line.
You know, Mike, it's funny, when you're facing these really elite defensive linemen, sometimes it's easier to make them the read guy rather than actually try to block them. Unfortunately, they're elite for a reason, and sometimes they're still able to make the play like we saw here.
That's his third catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle. But they weren't able to do it before he gets the line to gain, and he ends up picking up the first.
And he will take this one across into the end zone. Gregory Crosby Merritt, touchdown Commanders. And that's a football to hold on to forever. His first NFL touchdown in his very first NFL game. Taking care of business on the ground to get the score. And, Greg, the big guys up front, they deserve some praise on that one.
Absolutely, Mike. And it really only takes one guy to distort the defense and win his block. But in this case, give credit to the entire unit. They did their job.
Giants offense and their big play wide out getting set for their next possession. Now, Greg, you start to think about, okay, who are the teams that didn't make the playoffs last year that have a chance this year? Look, it happens every year. We just have to identify who they are. Who are a couple top of mind for you as we start 2025?
You know, as I start in the AFC, I think the Cincinnati Bengals, and you got to think the way their season ended last year, they rattle off 5 wins straight, really on the back of Joe Burrow. We could have made the argument if they're a playoff team that Joe Burrow was the best player in the league. I mean, he was incredible. Most weeks, Mike, he single-handedly carried that offense. Now, new defensive coordinator in Al Golden coming from the college ranks. Can he just make that defense in Cincinnati average? Because if they just play a little bit better with that high-profile offense, I think they're a team. They might not win the division with Baltimore, but they're going to be close and maybe at least get one of those wild card spots.
Why don't you flip it over? Who are the guys you're watching in the NFC?
You know, I think Dallas is going to find themselves, just the fact that I know the division is difficult. Obviously, Philadelphia remains really strong. Does Washington kind of regress a little bit back now in year 2? They were the high-profile, big splash team of last year. Do they regress to the median? Time will tell. But I think healthy Dallas, healthy Dak, healthy Micah Parsons, like that roster that we saw play last year is not the roster on paper that we expected to see. So I think Dallas has a chance. I think San Francisco always is going to be a team, again, dealt with their own injuries last year, McCaffrey and all the stuff on defense. So I think San Francisco and Dallas are 2 perennial teams we expect to be in the playoff hunt. They missed out last year. I wouldn't be shocked to see them back in it again this year.
And the Giants here will use the first of their timeouts. And they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go in this first half.
Well, let's give the defense a little credit here. You talk about read and reacting quickly. They recognize the screen right out of the jump, and he's able to beat the blocker to the spot and keep him to no gain.
Now a timeout. Giants, that is their second. Clock stops with a little under a minute to go in this second quarter. Here's a 3rd down and 4. To the air once more is Dart. He'll try to run for it. And the rookie gives himself up there at the end. That's a sign of a guy who's learned it quick. Picking up the first down.
Giants, first down. First and 10 at the 18-yard line.
To throw is Dart. Now a short one caught by the tight end Johnson. Second down, they need 3.
Theo Johnson. It's a gain of 7. Brings up second and 3.
Throwing is Dart. That's caught. It's Tyrone Tracy. This drive's going to continue. They bring him down, but not before he picks up first and goal for his team.
And the Giants.
Here's Darton. That one too far over the end line. Overthrow. It is incomplete.
Leads to second and goal.
Dart gonna throw it again. That is caught. Here is Graham Gano to try the field goal. This about as short as you can get.
Now third and goal.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good.
All right, let's jump to the third quarter. The Giants get the ball, just open the half, down a point. Let's see if we can take the lead on our opening drive.
Obviously, the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is the impact that it's making on going for it on fourth down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference that by kick to touchback, they got the ball at the 20. It wasn't that much of a spread, but now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball at the 35, or even if I fail down there tight in the red zone?
So we're going to force a 3rd and 3 on the Commanders' next possession. Jaden Daniels tries to take off. It gets a 1-yard gain, but he is sacked, and we are going to get the ball back after a punt.
Seattle from the Rams, but I think it's the guy the Rams signed to replace him, Davante Adams. I know he's not the youngest anymore, but watching him play in New York with Aaron Rodgers last year with the Jets, he can still run, he can still make every catch, he can still go up and compete at the high point. I think you put Davante Adams with Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, in that offense run by Sean McVay. I think that's a sneaky, maybe not a sneaky because he's a really household name, but I think that's a great signing.
And always interesting from the offseason, the quarterback movement and unique ties. Some of the biggest names were or now are Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, now the guy that is going to line up behind center for Seattle, Mike, is Sam Darnold. And, of course, we all saw that incredible season he had last year in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson and that really dynamic Vikings offense. So now he goes to Seattle. I think he's going to have an inspired Cooper Kupp. He was let go from the Rams. If he's healthy, he's a big weapon. Jackson Smith and Jigba. He has some pieces in that puzzle that he can push the ball downfield to. So I'm excited to see Sam. That's what everyone thought he was going to be coming out of college when he was a high draft pick of the New York Jets.
Now Dart. And he's going to be dropped. They get to him back at the 15-yard line. Bobby Wagner working his way in to register his first sack of the new season.
And now we're seeing the game kind of go back and forth. Each team trading blows, trying to establish control over the other. Nice chunk play on the previous play. The defense responds back with a sack.
And they're going to get him a second time. He goes down again. The NFL's active leader in sacks, Von Miller, in there to bring him down. And that's his first sack of the year. Back-to-back sacks back him up. What's going to happen now on 3rd and goal? Left side in the hands of Neighbors. And the drive stalls out as he's brought down. And the field goal unit likely to come on here on 4th and goal. Here is Graham Gano to try the field goal. This about as short as you can get. 3 for 3 in the game, as this one is also good. Off the play fake, here's Daniels. He'll step up and run. After that play, it stopped an injured Giant on the field. He'll get himself looked at, but this is not how you want to begin a new campaign. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the zone read, Krusky Merritt. And he'll gain about 6 there as it's up past the 35-yard line.
And as of right now, they find themselves trailing at the moment, but it's certainly not because of the ground game. I mean, he's averaging over 4 yards per carry. Just hasn't been enough to overcome some of their shortcomings elsewhere.
After that play, it stopped an injured Giant on the field. He'll get himself looked at, but this is not how you want to begin a new campaign. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Off the zone read, Daniels going to hang on to it. And he'll be met in the backfield and drop behind the line of scrimmage.
Oftentimes, the more success you have as a quarterback keeping the ball, the more attention that you're going to get from the defense, and I think that's exactly the case here. They've been burned a few times by this guy already today, but this time they were ready for him.
And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5. What can they do here on 3rd down and 7? From the shotgun, it's Daniels going for it all. And this ball incomplete on 3rd down before he can get any return cranked up. The Giants offense and running back Cam Scattaboo headed out for their next possession. The lead is 2, and they're going to try to make something happen here, starting with a 1st and 10. And mark them down up beyond the 30. They get 11 and quickly pick up 1st down.
And the Giants, 1st down.
First line of scrimmage is the 31 as they line up 1st and 10. Dart. Oh, and the rookie puts it on the deck. It's a fumble. It appears one of the Giants, yes, they were able to fall on it, so they keep possession.
Now, obviously, there's never a good time to fumble the ball. It's probably the thing that teams stress the most is ball security. But it makes it a little bit easier knowing that your own team was able to fall on top of it, and at least you can maintain possession.
Get this into the hands of Neighbors. And it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this 3rd quarter.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To it now as we get to 3rd down. Dart. Throw across his body is complete. And he's going to get awfully close to the 1st down marker, but appears just to be a few inches short. The Giants sending out their punter as they try to play the field position game here, protecting a 4th quarter lead. Fair catch is called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. Here comes the Washington offense now. They get set to take over. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. That's McLaurin open on the left side. They'll mark him down up at the 44-yard line.
That's good for a Washington 1st down.
Run over center. That's Krosky Merritt. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
1 yard gain.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 9. Daniels now going to look to throw. On target. Got it to McLaurin. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down. After that play, we have one of the Commanders who is down. He'll get himself looked at, but this is not how you want to begin a new campaign. Big play coming up. This is 3rd down. In trouble, and down he goes.
Impressive play by the defensive end here, Mike. It's his technique. It put him in position to not only make the play, but it's that closing speed that's allowed him to finish it off.
play fake. Here's Dart. He'll swing this out wide to Tracy. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
It's a gain of 18. And the Giants first down.
On 1st and 10, here is Dart. That's caught downfield by Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line.
That's another
Catch number 7 so far in this one. And a first down.
28-yard gain. First down, Giants.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the 4th quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super concerned. Just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
He's taken down just shy of the 10.
15 yards.
Still get a first down at the 1. 1st and 10, they go from the 11. And it's caught outright on the RPO. And he will get into the end zone. Wandale Robinson. Touchdown, New York. That his 2nd touchdown now here in the season opener. Greg, they did everything they wanted to do on that drive, and now a chance to really make it an important lead.
Mike, with that touchdown there, they're an extra point conversion from extending this lead to a 2-score game. And at this point in the 4th quarter, I think they feel pretty good about their chances of holding on.
Commanders 14.
They'll start out, first down and 10. They'll start the drive with Krosky Merritt. He is belted in the backfield. What a shot he took. It's going to be a loss of yardage. What a play.
And they've really done a nice job defensively holding them in check. I mean, ideally, you'd want your back to average around 4 yards a pop, but they're falling short of that threshold as of now, and partially it's why they find themselves trailing at this stage in the game.
On 2nd down, it's Daniel. Now pass deep for McLaurin. That ball incomplete. Got the hands in there to break it up. Would have been a big gainer. Instead, it sets up a 3rd down. Operating from the gun, it's Daniel. And that is incomplete.
It's just so hard to be a good offense in the NFL, Mike, when you are not good on 3rd down. Your inability to extend drives, it either puts a lot of pressure on your coaches to be aggressive on 4th down, or simply punt or take a field goal. You have to make...
Oh, he doesn't put it away, and the ball's out. And fortunately, one of his teammates downfield comes to his rescue and retains possession after the big play.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
So even though they avoid the turnover, this is still a play that they're going to coach hard off of. They're going to bring guys into the meeting room next week and say, hey guys, we're not always going to be so fortunate. The ball is not always going to bounce our way. Anybody who handles the ball from the center to the quarterback to any of the ball carriers, the most important aspect of team offense is protecting the ball at all costs.
23-yard line.
On play action, Daniels. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
At this stage of the game, things haven't been going your way, so one more mistake, it could just be too much to overcome. So a nice decision there. Just throw it away out of bounds and give your team a fighting chance.
That is hot. What a throw. Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, Washington. For Deebo, 6 years in San Francisco, this is his first touchdown as a Washington Commander. Greg, they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off.
Well, Mike, at the very least, they've given themselves a chance, but can they get a stop and get the ball back again for a chance to go down and really make this one interesting?
Makes the score Giants 23, Commanders
The Giants offense and their quarterback Jackson Dart heading back out to the field. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. So, from the 26-yard line, here's second down and 7.
At the 26-yard line.
Once again, it's Scatterboot. And he's going to be taken down at the 37. A gain there of 11. That's good for a Giants first down.
Giants first down. First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Throwing, Dart. Catch made, right side. It's Johnson. The rookie from Ole Miss put that one on target for the first down.
That's another Giants first down. First and 10.
In order for this play to be successful against man coverage, Mike, two things need to happen. One, the quarterback has to anticipate the break. He has to get that ball out on time. And then the rest is the receiver creating the separation at the top. And when both are accomplished, you can see what the results are.
And now the defense is going to take their first time out. Remember, they get an extra one built in with a 2-minute warning coming up momentarily. Ball on the 40 now. Here's second and 3. Out of shotgun. It's Dart. Nowhere to go. He is taken down. The defense uses its second timeout here, and don't forget, clock going to stop when we hit the 2-minute warning as well.
And it's
Third and 9.
Third and 9.
Operating from the gun, it's Dart. He's got his man. Right side, it's complete. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard
It's a
line.
gain of 22 yards. That's another.
The break the huddle
Giants
coming up now for first and 10.
A gain of 22 yards. First down, New York.
They run on the jet sweep, and not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that.
Brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
2 minutes remain in the fourth quarter.
And 10.
We'll come back and finish this one off. After this, we'll try again. It's second and 10. On the zone read, it's a give to Scatterboot. And they'll get him down inside the 5-yard line. It's first and goal coming up from a little further back. Here's second and goal. So a road win here for the Giants. They move to 1-0 as they earn this victory in the division, no less, here in Week 1.
G-Men, first win, first game, Jackson Dart. Let's check out the stats here on him. 307 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. He did take 5 sacks. Cam Scatterbo, 10 attempts for 83 yards. Dart had 6 for 20. Probably want to see a little bit more rushing yards, but Rondell Robinson, 9 catches, 101 yards for 2 touchdowns. Malik Neighbors was great. He caught a really long pass. Tyrone Tracy had 3 for 33. Theo Johnson had 3 for 29. Bellinger had a real nice catch in that game. Defensively, defense looked really good. 1 sack from McFadden, and Abdul Carter and Brian Burns combined for a sack and no interceptions. When you take a look at the Commander side of the ball, Jaden Daniels, only 190 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did take 2 sacks. 10 rushing attempts for 31 yards. If I'm the Commanders fan, I'm going to try to fix that. McLaurin, Samuel both caught touchdowns. Sanat had a nice, I believe that was him, that had a big 4th down conversion, or was that? Yeah, that was Sanat. So not great here for the Commanders. Their defense did, however, get a bunch of sacks. So that's good to see for them. But it's all about the Giants here. A big win in the first game of the season. And they win, I would say, kind of a defensive battle. 23-21, you like to see a low-scoring game like that. And they got it done.